If you have questions about water and water-related chemistry questions, we'll take them today. And we're going to get started with alkaline water first, though. Let's get started with prayer as we discuss some challenging topics in the world of water. Let's pray. Father God in heaven, thank you so much for a new day and for creating an amazing world for us. And there's so much that involves chemistry in the world around us, because it's all chemicals, and we want to be able to understand it so we can be a blessing to the world around us, to our neighbors, to our friends, to our family. And as we get ready to gather for Thanksgiving, there may be some opportunities at the dinner table to talk about your amazing creation, especially as we see it through water. Bless our time together, we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right, we're going to talk about alkaline water. Please, by the raising of your hand, who has heard about alkaline water before? Okay, so it looks like a number of you, at least were able to raise your hand this high so that I could see. Alkaline water, this picture right here is my bottle that I have. A student purchased it for me. Thank you, Jared. And it was a nice, lovely gift. And it has a pH of 10. I was able to confirm it with my cheap little pH meter, and it does have a pH of 10. The question is that I would like to pose today is alkaline water a healthy healthy water drink, or is this a hoax of chemistry that people are trying to get you to spend a lot of money and buy their product? If you are interested in having your own alkaline water at your place, you're welcome to purchase any one of these. I do not support any of these companies. You're welcome to spend anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 on these instruments to create your own alkaline water at home. Because according to the internet, there are a lot of amazing benefits to alkaline water. You can find these on your own. This is from undergroundhealth.com, which I have no clue who they are. But they apparently have found some benefits of alkaline water. What does it do? Well, according to them, with no apparent research that I could see, but according to the words that they typed on their website, it detoxifies your body from acidic waste. Acid waste collected in the body can lead to more serious health conditions. Drinking this water daily can neutralize the acidity. I'm not sure where in your body they're talking about, but it can wash acid waste from your cells and tissues. That sounds important. It can hydrate your body. This is basic. That's a good word there. To maintain or regain your optimal health. During ionization, your alkaline water filter forms your water into microclusters that are more easily absorbed at the cellular level, thus superhydrating your body. I will try not to laugh through these. Oxygenate, because they sound like real science to you, but you need to continue in my class and other chemistry classes, and so you can understand if this is fraudulent or not. Alkaline water acts as an antioxidant, scavenging, neutralizing free radicals, which are dangerous. Alkalizes your body's pH. Alkaline water helps balance your body's pH, which tend to be acidic because of our high acid food diet, stress, and exposure to environmental toxins like smog. Alkalize your body pH from acidic to alkaline pH because cancer and many there we go, that's the phrase I was looking for. Other illnesses cannot live in alkaline environments. Alkaline is the normal state of a healthy person. Enhance your immune system. You can enhance your immune system. Who would like to buy my alkaline water? I'm just going to sell it for $10. That's on sale. Look at what it does. Man, we can cure cancer with alkaline water because cancer thrives in an acidic environment, and I have the opposite here, alkaline water. Hoax or health revolution? What is going on here? Let's continue to look at their website just for a little bit. you can, oh no, this is a different one, buy your own alkalizing systems. Here we go. Let's go for the cheap one at $1,500, or we can buy the top of the line Inatic, something, I don't know, for $3,900. Why not? We're Americans. We have lots of money. Let's buy it. Who cares? All right. Well, if you're not convinced by those words that we read, let us find words from people and put pictures next to them. And put Bill Clinton promotes the alkaline lifestyle. Bill Clinton. You pick Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton, I mean, is it Dr. Bill Clinton? No. Like, PhD Bill Clinton? No. President Bill Clinton? Yeah, that guy. Although the word alkaline is never used, the diet's referred to, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Clinton tells us that he has not only lost 24 pounds, oh man, you can lose weight. It's got to be awesome. He goes on to say that 82% of the people since 1986 who have gone on a plant-based, there you go, I like that, no meat, there you go, no dairy, that sounds good, and begun to heal themselves, where's alkaline? In there. And he went on to say, I don't know. I can't even read that whole thing. Testimonies. When people start throwing testimonies out there, I get really cautious. Because in one or two experiences, which it could be real, does not make a product necessarily substantially true. So we have to be careful when the lead arguments are based on testimonies and not scientific studies or even scientific information. That's correct. Let's talk about your body and pH and acidic and basic information, your alkaline. Can your body become acidic? No. Despite what you read on some random website, that does not make it true. Your body cannot become acidic. Why not? Because you will die. In fact, I don't know what they're talking about, honestly. Your body has different pHs that it utilizes for doing certain things. In your body, in your mouth, the pH can range from 6.5 to 7.5, and so you can have a slightly acidic environment and slightly alkaline environment in your mouth for small periods of time. Dentists will testify the more acidic your mouth is, that will deteriorate your teeth. That sounds great or bad actually, and that is true. But once those materials enter into your stomach is outfitted with what's called proton pumps that will adjust the pH to whatever you put in, and it will acidify every single thing, even if it's alkaline water, and make it acidic. It will neutralize it, get it past neutral, and will make it a low pH to around 1.5 to 4, depending on whether you're eating a light lunch or Thanksgiving dinner. The pH will be higher on Thanksgiving dinner because you put so much food and it takes a while for it to lower it back down. The enzymes and the digestive juices in your stomach operate optimally at a low pH. If you try to alkalize it, you will ruin that process, hurt your stomach, and have poor digestion and poor health. Alkaline water gets immediately turned into acid water in your stomach. So right there and then alone, I will tell you alkaline water is a hoax. Do not spend money on alkaline water, especially unless you're buying it from me. Don't spend $4,000 on an alkaline water system. They are scamming you. They are ripping you off. They are using bad science. Is it clear? Am I making it clear? I am not on the fence about this. I am clearly on the side that this is a big joke and a hoax to rip money out of your unsuspecting pocket and line their own, and I feel bad that I did not come up with it first. Because these guys alkalated their water with, I can't even read it here. No, here it is. Potassium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. That is a way cheaper. They spent probably less than a penny to alkalize this water. So it is truly pH 10. It is truly alkaline water, and it's truly alkalized with some strong bases in there. I could really throw you off. Would you like to be manipulated right now? I shall try. These products, sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide, are commonly found in Drano products. So there is just a pinch of Drano in here. How does that sound? Hey, there we go, let's go to the camera. In this product, there is Drano. And you're feeding Drano to your kids? That is terrible. There we go. So we'll put that on YouTube. All right. It doesn't matter because it gets neutralized and acidified in your stomach. So you can drink a little bit of Drano. It's actually okay. I don't recommend it. You should dilute it with water first. Okay, make sure there's nothing else in there. I'm not condoning the drinking of Drano. I'm just saying. I mean, that's really what they're condoning, though. Honestly, drink Drano. It will cure cancer. In a nutshell. Joke, hoax. We got to stop it here. You know where this bottle was bought? Did you say it? Apple Valley. Hey, their business, man. They got to make money. If you guys are going to buy it, they're going to sell it. Can we start our own alkaline water company? No, we'll start our own water company, the 55 molar water company, but we're not going to sell alkaline water. That is a joke. If your body's pH can be manipulated by drinking one bottle of water, how do you stay alive? How do you stay alive? And so your blood can only, do I have it on here? Your blood can only modify its pH from 7.36 to 7.42. It is tightly regulated. If you could make it acidic or basic, you will die. That is such a bad stuff on this whole acid-base thing. It makes me quite frustrated and angry, as you can tell. So we need to stop that. That's why we are saying this stuff here. Just learning a little bit more in general chemistry class. We'll go into a lot more in the second semester. We get to learn about pH and acidity and basicity. This is a joke. But where did it come from? It is based in reality. It's based in science. By the way, if some of you still believe that alkaline water is good for you, our water is alkaline. Most water is alkaline. But there's a reason for it. It doesn't mean that they put Drano in it. It comes from some other things. All right, we're going to go on to this. So where did this all come from? Why do people really get into this? You know, my own family, I learned this stuff from my family because they all get into this. I had a aunt, God rest her soul, had cancer, and she would not touch any water unless it was alkaline water. I could not get her, my mom, and it was my mother's sister, she would not drink anything. Alkaline water, that's it, from a bottle. Got to give it to me now. And she had, what kind of cancer? I forget.
Uterine and some
uterine and some cancer, the reproductive system. And she was in a lot of pain, looking for help. And we're a lot of people, you may know, who are looking for answers. And you read it on a website, and you think you're finding the answers. The answer's in the water, not the alkaline part. We need to definitely be drinking water. It doesn't have to be alkaline water. And pH 10, that could be pretty bad. So what's happened is water is normally alkaline. The alkalinity comes from the minerals that water picks up as it runs through the ground, picking up calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. These elements, mainly the magnesium and calcium, make the pH slightly alkaline, and we get a lot of good minerals in our water that we talked about last time. Okay? What the alkaline water industry has identified and figured out is a way to make the water alkaline without the minerals, which I don't know why, but apparently because it's cheap. I mean, you put a penny of sodium hydroxide in here, you make it alkaline, and unsuspecting people who have not even tried to learn this stuff are gullible, and they buy alkaline water at a premium price. and all you did was put a little Drano in it. So go start your own company, put a little Drano, that's where you can find it. So they basically are giving you the water, which is great, so the water's fine. I'm not saying that it's going to cause anything, it's just not going to do what they're going to say that it does. And so they're basically selling you the alkalinity without the minerals, although a lot of places are adding the minerals back in. So I look at it this way. Alkaline water is like good mineral water. I should say good mineral water is like a banana, right? You got the nice nutrient-rich banana center, and the alkaline water, the banana peel, comes along with it. And so basically the alkaline water industry is trying to sell you the banana peel, the part you don't really care about. That was sort of the side effect of having the minerals in there. We definitely need the minerals. So it's the minerals that are important to your body because you need them, and they come from water. So, yeah. So what kind of water should I drink? Just drink some water. If you want to drink alkaline water, fine. If you have plenty of disposable money, drink water. Alkaline water. Tap water, it's good. Spring water, fine. City water, typically pretty good. Bottled water, well, we could talk about that. Well water, a lot of it, it's the water. It's the water. It's the water. What kind of, does anybody have any questions about alkaline water or another type of water that you'd like to discuss? Super-oxygenated water, perhaps? Super-oxygenated water? This has O4 in it. Yes. Yeah. What's that? Deionized water is just pure water. 55 molar, no ions in it. We have to be a little bit careful about drinking that and lots of that. And let me, I have a quote that I would like to share with you on that. Let's see if I can find it. So once you have removed the ions out of water, water is very aggressive at trying to find ions. Where'd my nice little quote go? Oh, there it is. Deionized water, by some people, is called ultra pure water because there's no ions, there's no nothing in it. To use a double negative. No nothing. That's the way. I've been trying to think of that. That's what some people say. There's no nothing in it. Doesn't it mean there's something in it? Anyway, what's ultra pure water? Every day around the world, tens of millions of gallons of the cleanest water possible are created. Water so clean it is regarded as an industrial solvent. Absolutely central to high-tech manufacturing, but not safe for human consumption. This would be DI water, and this is what this guy would say. Water is a good cleaner because it's a good solvent, the so-called universal solvent. Excellent dissolving all kinds of things. Ultra-pure water is particularly, quote-unquote, hungry in solvent terms, so it starts to clean. It starts to remove ions, which is why they use it for semiconductor industry. It's also why it's not safe to drink. A single glass of ultra-pure water wouldn't hurt you, but even that one glass of water would start instantly leaching valuable minerals back out of your body. In fact, super clean water tastes flat, heavy, and bitter, the opposite of what we like. The appealing freshness in water comes not just from its temperature and its appearance, but a sprinkling of salts and minerals that gives it its crisp taste. You can drink a glass, but I don't recommend that you drink that all the time. It is an aggressive solvent that will start leaching out. But we eat so much food, this is not, and you get all those minerals back pretty quickly. So it's not much of a danger. Although there is the story of the lady who ran a marathon who said, well, if water is good for you, ultra pure water is better for you. And that is wrong because of some of these reasons. And during the 26 miles of running along, this young lady would drink nothing but deionized or distilled or ultra pure water. And that started to leach out important minerals that her body needed, and she ended up shutting down. Her body shut down and died at the end of the race. So it is no joke. If you are a serious athlete, you cannot drink ultra pure water. And most of you know this. I mean, this is where Gatorade has come in and try to capitalize on this market. Electrolytes. This will pull ultra pure water, deionized water, distilled water, all the same kind of things. Will be pulling the ions out of your body. So one glass, not a big deal, but if you keep doing that, you can run into some health issues. So distilled water, I do not recommend. And it's probably going to start pulling things out of the plastic. What kind of things out of plastic? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. I don't know if I have good slides on this. I'm still working on them. But I have some slides. Some information I would like to share about drinking out of plastic bottles. What's this picture? There's nothing. Okay. Well, first of all, we have a problem in this world with plastic, right? The great garbage patch in the middle of the oceans. Plastic is becoming everywhere, thanks to chemists and organic chemists. But, I mean, consumers, we love plastic, so it's going everywhere. So, besides the environmental problem that plastic produces, and plastic straws, but plastic bottles, plastic bags, plastic this, plastic that, is there any real chemical dangers out of drinking out of plastic bottles? Possibly. Food and drink containers usually don't reveal detailed information about what they are free from. This team tested plastic bottles labeled as BPA free. If you're not familiar with the BPA story, I'm happy to tell you, but that BPA is an estrogen-like molecule, and consuming bottles that have BPA in it, we're starting to see health effects in women and subsequently in children, as a lot of it would go through mother's milk. They tested to see if hot water stored inside would dissolve some BPA-like compounds, and they found that 23 out of 52 items, including all three of the baby bottles they examined, they found compounds coming out of the plastic and into the water, especially hot water. When they took blood samples from 100 college students who regularly drank water from plastic bottles, Hughes' team detected low levels of BHPF, whatever that is. That is a replacement to BPA in 7 people. Okay, 7 out of 100. Oh, hopefully you're not one of those 7. It is unknown if the compound came from their drinking water, as there are many materials that contain this compound, nor would they say if it was high enough to cause harm. But we are starting to get little bits of plastic in the compounds that are putting the plastic into our bloodstream and into our digestive system. There are some follow-up studies. Next slide. I saw this 2011 article, and I found the Chemical Engineering News. I refound it on the NPR website. Researchers bought more than 450 different plastic items from stores, including Walmart and Whole Foods, and they chose a bunch of different things. And what they did was expose these different plastics that were BPA-free and all sorts of different types of plastics, and expose them to water. It says right, soak them in salt water or alcohol to see what would come out of them. Okay, and so salt water. Okay, so this maybe is a little aggressive in terms of ions and polarity, but they found in 70%. That's over 2/3 of these released chemicals that acted like estrogens. That means in 70% of plastics, they all have BPA-like molecules in them that you're not being told about, because no one's raised an alarm yet to see if these are issues. They expose them to real-world conditions like sunlight, dishwashing, and microwaving. 70%. There is a huge world of plastic issues that have not even come to light yet. Drinking out of plastic bottles, which I just did. Thank you, wife, because I needed some water. And that's what we're falling into. We're falling into this trap, and we don't know the dangers that are there. We don't even know what this will do yet, but we do know that under these simple, well, not so simple tests, but these tests, that there is many estrogen-like, which is BPA-like molecules. And these don't have short-term effects, which means they're not going to kill you. You're not going to get breast cancer after drinking 1 bottle of this. But the accumulation that happens over time, that we continue to eat, drink, and be merry with our plastic, that it is going to have consequences. We need to get back to things like glass, probably, and metals. But most metals are coated with plastic. You say, I have a metal water bottle. Yeah, it's probably coated with plastic. Because metals, if you haven't noticed on cars, they don't do well with water and salts and minerals. So they coat them with plastic on the inside. Go check that out. All your tin cans, aluminum cans, that you buy food in are all coated inside with plastic, and many of those have BPA in them. Plastic is everywhere because it's great because it keeps things from corroding, and those packages last longer, and it doesn't break and hurt people. All those things like microwave and dishwasher. And so what about all those products marketed as BPA free? There's a claim made for everything from dog bowls to bento boxes. I don't know what that is. The team concentrated on BPA-free waters and water bottles, and all of them release chemicals having estrogenic activity. Sometimes the BPA-free products even had more activity than the products known to contain BPA. The testing didn't show which chemicals are to blame, which is likely to be frustrating to manufacturers. We are often going after the wrong thing because it's easy to go, BPA is the demon out there, let's get rid of BPA. But what are you replacing it with? What else is in there? And nobody wants to ask the hard chemical questions because they're hard chemical questions. And we don't know. We don't know. So we got to be careful. Plastic, to make it flexible, plastic doesn't want to come out flexible like this. They add in plasticizers to make it flexible. Okay? And those things are coming out into the water. So we got to be careful. All right, I'm almost done ranting. Anyone else have a question about water? Yes, sir, Mr. Ryan. First name.
Boxes is all our single-serving little things like cups and protein packs.
Thank you. That's what bento boxes are?
That's what bento boxing is.
Man, how did you know that?
I just looked it up.
Oh, thank you. This guy is really smart. I got to keep him around. Well, his name Ryan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so just, okay. All right.
My parents in our previous house had a reverse osmosis filter. What does that do exactly?
Great. Reverse osmosis, good question. Reverse osmosis, we did osmosis last week with our carrot here. Reverse osmosis it's a semi-permeable membrane that you use a pump to pressurize water through, and you basically get ultra-pure water. So it is a way without having to distill it, use a lot of heat energy to do that. So it's deionized water. It's distilled deionized ultra-pure water. So we got to be careful how we use it, though. So my parents have it too. They love it. It will get rid of a lot of smells in water. If you have stinky water at home, my parents do. That smell is typically from bacteria. You know, that'll reverse osmosis will get rid of it. Chlorinated water. There's a lot of chlorinated smells in water. It's from the chlorinated, keeping the bacteria out. Reverse osmosis will get rid of that. What I will say is a way to get rid of the smells is actually just to pass everything through a simple charcoal filter. Charcoal is nonpolar. It will remove most of these nonpolar compounds that cause the smells and the stinkiness. Just need that. Reverse, and then the minerals actually go through the charcoal filter because they are not nonpolar. So they don't stick to that. They just go right through. They're ions, and they're water-loving. And the water goes through, and the ions go through a simple charcoal filter. I think that's probably the best. The simple charcoal filter would get rid of molecules like this. They will get rid of a new and emerging threat called PFAS, P-F-A-S, polyfluorinated something-somethings. And those are molecules that were put in a lot of materials like this as flame retardants, and they're ending up now in the waterways. Michigan, which has been bitten once in a very major way with the issue in Flint, Michigan, and the lead. Lead is not naturally occurring in water. It came from the lead pipes that the water was being pumped through. And since that caused a major crisis, environmental crisis in Michigan, they want to be ahead on the next one. And so it didn't take long to find articles out of Michigan papers. You go to mlive.com, and you can look up PFAS. You'll find tons of articles being written in Michigan papers on the looming crisis of polyfluorinated something, I don't know, there's A and O's and something, whatever. And but a charcoal filter gets rid of those because they're nonpolar and they get stuck in the nonpolar carbon, not because charcoal is a magical substance created by the gods of Jupiter, okay, or Saturn, I don't know. But it's a nonpolar material. So there's a lot of things going out there on water. Anything else on water? We have a pressing question. You guys aren't old enough to have enough pressing questions, man. Because when I go and ask at church services or meetings where there's a lot of older people, man, this is a big deal. And they have lots of questions. I have super oxygenated water here, but I won't get to that because you got it.
Can you drink too much water?
What do you think? Yeah, what happens? What do you guys think happens?
Your stomach gets all gurgly.
Yeah, you start to dilute all the acids, and you can change the osmotic characteristics of your body. And yeah, I think there was the radio show that someone had to drink a bunch of water contest. I thought it was in Texas. Yeah, people have died by drinking too much water. Absolutely, absolutely. Too much, right? Water is great, but too much is bad, and too little is bad. We've got to be drinking the right amount every day. Thankfully, we've been given a mechanism to know when we need to drink more water. You guys know what that is? What's that? Yeah, you get thirsty. You get thirsty, you should drink more water. All right. What other questions? Too much is bad. That's a great segue. Come up with a design. Well, I'll probably have to say my light one for the next time here. Super oxygenated water. I'll sell this one for $9. $9 for once, twice, $9. Yeah. Pull out some money. I have 04 super oxygenated water. I think I was sharing this with a few people last night in lab. The first time I came across super oxygenated water was thanks to my mom, who gets me started and at least knowledgeable in good and bad ways about health trends. Sorry, Mom. It's true. I was telling how my mom juiced a bunch of carrots, and carrot juice is great. And so, not knowing that there was the right amount of carrot juice you should drink, she turned orange by drinking so much. Literally, she had a nice, healthy orange glow to her. And it looked like she had a nice, like, you know, the tanning stuff, like you put it on improperly. Yeah. And so I started looking up, is this a bad thing? Is my mom going to kill herself? And that's probably what got me started into chemistry, was just following all of these interesting health trends that my mother was on. She should have been a chemist, but and she kind of is in her own right, making potions at home. So she was told by someone, if you put a couple of drops of hydrogen peroxide into your water, this will give you super oxygenated water because it's H2O2. It has more oxygen than regular water does. So it will super oxygenate your body. And so, by the way, if you see the word super in any of this stuff, run away from it. Okay, that is the worm or the carrot on a stick, the worm on a hook to get you, the carrot is probably not there, the hook, the worm on the hook to reel you in. Okay, oh, it's super! Let me go get it! Superman! Super! So if you have super alkalinated, super oxygenated, they are trying to just trade your naivety for money. So please be careful. It does nothing. Your body will just break that down and not do anything with the hydrogen peroxide. The only way to oxygenate your blood is what you already are doing right now, and you cannot do that any better. You can breathe. Now we talked about asthma, right? People with asthma, that's a whole other issue. But normally your pulse ox, your oxygenated blood, you can't improve it. Is no matter how many super clustered or micro clustered water you have, whatever that is. 04 though, this is 04, and it has been found to temporarily exist in certain oxygenated environments, and so 04 may be a real thing, but it's not like a real molecule, but it doesn't actually oxygenate your body. It is another hoax to get your money. The alchemists live on. Alchemist, you guys familiar with that? People trying to turn lead into gold. Well, the new modern alchemists are turning water into your gold. Okay, so please be careful. What else? Is there anyone else have another one? Oh, I've got a couple more things. We're going to change directions a little bit, but does anyone have a water question? Anyone else? We'll just do water here now. I just got one last thing on water, and for today. All right. right, so we are going to flip to another property of water that I wanted to get to. And we have talked about this in class, I think. But I wanted to, let's do this. Please look at the picture on the screen and see if you notice anything unusual. Feel free to raise your hand if you recognize something that seems unusual there to you. What do you think, Leonard? The ice is sinking. Why is that unusual? It's supposed to float. That is correct. That is the unusual thing there. Ice is supposed to float. Well, this is true for water and only water. Okay, so it turns out this is not water. This is another substance that I have. In fact, that's my substance there. I actually made it. But I have to make sure I put that here. All right. Oop. All right. This is tertiary butyl alcohol, and it melts at around 25 degrees, or freezes, depending on what direction you're going. And so if you slightly warm it up, you can even do it with your hands. It will turn into a liquid, but it's pretty easy to make the solid form of it, because especially in corners of Lab 220, you can freeze a lot of things there. And so this is solid T-butanol, so we would probably technically not call it ice, since we now know it's not water. And this is the liquid phase. This, as it turns out, is the normal behavior of most chemicals, that the solid phase sinks in its liquid phase. And so I have my own example here, and oh, there's the bug again flying around. All right, so this is the normal behavior right here, and I have a video. I just did this recently, I think last week. All right, so I just got a little graduated cylinder. Okay, and then I'm putting in some of the solid phase of tertiary butyl alcohol. And look at it sink. It kind of has this really stringy look to it. So I need to work on making my cubes look like ice cubes. And I'm getting ready to get some more in there. I'm actually touching it with my hands, as you can see there. It's not too bad. That's normal. Sometimes it will float because it will capture a lot of bubbles, and the bubbles will help keep it floating. This is normal. It's hard to find another chemical, because to get the solid in the liquid phase is really easy for water for us, but hard to do on a lot of other chemicals. I found another video, though, where someone has done this. This is from the YouTube channel Veritasium, and this guy wanted to make solid nitrogen, and they succeeded by manipulating the pressure and temperature, getting it really cold, and I think applying some pressure. And they formed solid solid nitrogen, but it was in conjunction with liquid nitrogen, and they found some interesting things.
Whoa! Sorry, what?
The ice is actually getting sucked up by the reduced pressure up here. And there's a higher pressure underneath the ice because the vacuum pump hasn't had a chance to work there. I've never seen solid nitrogen before.
Sa densité est plus élevée que l'azote liquide. Par exemple, de l'eau, un glaçon flotte.
Oui.
Ici, le glaçon d'azote, de nitrogène solide, est sous l'eau. Ça coule, quoi.
So there, the solid phase of nitrogen is sinking in the liquid nitrogen. That is the normal behavior of chemicals. Why is this such a big deal? What would happen if, you guys gone through this thinking before? It's kind of fun to do. What would happen if ice, solid form, would sink to the bottom of oceans or lakes or ponds? What would happen? Someone would just want to, maybe we could talk here for a little bit. End our time? What do you think?
Ocean rising.
Well, yeah, maybe the ocean levels would go up, but what would happen, Brendan? What do you think?
Greenland would disappear.
Oh, Greenland would disappear. Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's actually land under Greenland. So, but yeah, right. Anything that was riding on ice would sink down, right? You could. Well, hey, no more icebergs. I mean, this could be like a great thing. We wouldn't have to worry about the Titanic hitting any icebergs.
The reflection also.
What's that?
The reflection that the ice shoot.
Oh, right. We wouldn't have to worry about that. Or is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing.
Could be a good thing because it can reflect light back into outer space and it acts as a cooling system. Ah, interesting. Yes. Yeah, so that could adjust the whole global heating and cooling system. Yeah, for sure. Let's think about what it would do for fish and for life in ponds. What if water sank? What if the solid phase sank down? You ever think about that? It would hit them in the head. Is that what you said? No. Yeah, it would land about. Yeah, I'm trying to think you got out of the way. But yeah, the ice would build up on the bottom, right? And then what? It would start. The ice would accumulate on the bottom and start going up. And then poof, they would run out of room, and they would freeze. The water would freeze from the bottom up, and life would die off pretty quickly. So what happens when ice floats? It actually creates a thermal barrier to creating more ice. So when the ice is on the bottom, you don't have that thermal barrier anymore, and it's easy to make more ice, and then it would sink down. More ice sink down, and so we would have ponds and lakes, and the smaller bodies of water would freeze over much more quickly if the ice sank down. So the fact that water is less dense and can float on top is quite amazing because it is not normal. But when you live in a world that is not normal and not natural, our world is not natural. We need to get used to that. We live in an unnatural place because it has been designed for a bunch of unnatural organisms to exist, called animals and people and plants. We are all unnatural because we have been designed to exist in a natural world where solids sink down and chemical reactions run in a certain way that do not produce life and energy that we need to exist. And so little machines called plants were created to capture energy and create food and natural polymers, we call them, and things to create oxygen. Oxygen is not that natural either. O2. And so I like this, that showing that ice sinks is or ice floats, but all the other things sink, is a very good testimony to how unique and special water is. And so when we see this, we should go, wow, that is awesome, cool. But we don't know to do that because we live and we only experience, because there's so much water around us, that ice floats. And I've shown this in class, but I'll just show it here again. There are other elements that have been found to have a lower density for the solid phase versus the liquid phase, but there has not been found a compound. That is, what's a compound? Something that has two different elements in it. There's no other element other than water that I know of. And I challenged you guys at the beginning of the school year to see if you could find one, and nobody could. And there could be a number of reasons for it, but we haven't been able to find it, or at least Google hasn't, and for us. And water is the only compound that I know of currently that has this property, and so I try to designate that here. So this will be fun to have in posters around schools, and to help show that we have a very unique substance, and we have lots of it on our planet, on the surface. We can go swimming in it, we can drink it, and we can have good health when it brings along all the minerals that we need, and you can live in it. And it's so important that we have this water in here. And so it's a trick with air, not a trick, it is designed, our planet's designed to have the air pressure to hold our water down, but not to be enough so that we can't have the water cycle happening. And then Lake Michigan rarely freezes over, but it did almost a few years ago when it got really cold. And once water, like a big body of water like Michigan freezes over, then it can't get oxygen in it. And then this could kill off a lot of things in these lakes and ponds. And so low oxygen environments could really happen if things freeze over. But thankfully that is really, really hard to do. Okay? And our planet is spinning around, always kind of heating things if it didn't spin. So there's a lot of different things that go into preserving and keeping water as a liquid on the planet that we just don't think about. And I want us to think about it because someone thought about it and automated it so that we wouldn't have to do that. So I think we'll end it here unless somebody has a question here. But you can always come down and talk to me if you have a question. But we'll let you guys go a few minutes early here today. And I'll be doing 5 more talks on light and radioactivity and some other scientific lies and hoaxes and stuff next semester. So we'll do 5 more next semester, second half. Thank you for joining me on these fun little journeys here. I'll take your paper, and hope you guys have a great day and a great Thanksgiving vacation.